Listen, what I'm about to share with you is such a powerful technique for personal transformation that I would almost believe it's magic if I wasn't so strongly opposed to believing in magic. It's that powerful. I've seen amazing results out of this in my own life. I'm going to tell you a story in just a second, but I just want to tell you this is huge, and I'll tell you why it's so huge in just a second. But first, the technique is creating a personal mantra. When I was early in my 20s, I had, for a lot of personal reasons, I was really kind of bummed out. I didn't like who I was. There was kind of a lot going on there. And someone told me about personal mantras, and it sounded like total BS to me, to be perfectly honest. But I was a peppy little spit polish, and I was really motivated to change, so I was willing to try anything. So I created a personal mantra for myself. The mantra ran like this. I am calm, confident, funny, relaxed, energetic, entertaining, interesting, and able. I'm calm, confident, funny, relaxed, energetic, entertaining, interesting, and able. And I would, so I would take this, and the idea was you repeat this as often as you can. You treat it almost like it's a religious practice, or if you're not religious, like maybe an addiction to drugs or something like that. But you really rep it out, and you do it a lot. And I think it works for a few different reasons, and I want to talk about those in just a second. But the fact of the matter is, when I started doing this mantra, I was none of those things. I was none of those things even remotely. I mean, I had a good sense of humor, I guess, and I was clever, but man, I was none of those things, and certainly not the full package. And now, on the other side of this, I mean, this is years later, but I truly feel like I embody all of those things. I am calm, confident, funny, relaxed, energetic, entertaining, interesting, and able. Now, you might not think I'm so calm, but internally, I really feel peaceful. So anyway, I really want to and still impress upon you the power of this. And so I'm going to talk about 3 reasons why I think that this works. And then I'm going to encourage you to go out and do this on your own so that you can see it for yourself. But I needed reasons, and I didn't have those reasons initially, and so I really like to think about why things work so that it's easier to do the actual work itself. So the 3 reasons, I think, 2 of them are reliant just on the repetition of the actual phrase in your mind. So you repeat it over and over and over and over again, and I think the part of why it works is because you're doing that. So if you're repeating a thought over and over again, you're really like practicing a neural pathway, and you're more likely to fire it out. Just like if you're like a martial artist and somebody tries to hit you, you've drilled it so many times to block what's happening that you don't even have to think about it, you'll just fire it off. Right? So the same is true. If you're repeating the same phrase over and over and over again, you're more likely to think those thoughts than you would have been if you weren't. Like, it's not enough to just intellectually understand that you can believe that you're calm, confident, funny, whatever your thing is, right? But you actually have to do the practice to get it in there so that you're ready to fire it off at any given moment. That's one thing. The second thing is you're also, by repeating it over and over again, you're taking away the power of negative thinking, because we actually can't focus our mind on 2 things at once. So by shifting what you're consciously saying in your mind, you're able to take kind of stage space away from the negative thoughts that, if you're anything like me, they come up all the time. Most people, you're not alone. If you think mean things about yourself on a regular basis, you're not alone. And what we're doing by repeating a personal mantra is we're actually like taking away time that your mind has to actually say those negative things. So in a way, you're both prepping yourself to say a good thing, and you're also taking away the time that you're spent thinking negative things. Now, the third thing I think is really cool, and where some of the magic happens, by repeating these thoughts over and over and over again and building this framework where you're just able to fire it off at any given moment, you'll naturally start to notice the times in your life where you actually are confident. And because we all have times where all of us are everything at some times. We all have the full range of emotional spectrums. We all kind of show up different ways. There are times when you feel like you really are on fire, and then there are times when we don't, and that's fine. And the idea is, by prepping out your mind with these phrases, you'll start to notice when it's true. And as you go through the practice, you'll actually start to kind of recognize how often it is true, and that kind of builds this feedback loop where you get to start believing more and more, and then you're like really charging up the emotions of your personal mantra, right? And so it really works. I really encourage you to do this experiment even if you're on the fence about it. But the key is you do want to drill it. So here's what you're going to do to build your own personal mantra. 1, pick some characteristics that you like, that you want to embody more of. Maybe ones that you really already like about yourself. It's okay to throw a couple of those in there too that you just want to like rev up, or anything that you want to improve on. Basically, you just work it into a phrase. You want it to be catchy, okay? And then you've got to memorize it because you want to just be able to fire it off. And then once you have chosen those things and you've got it kind of aligned, like really wordsmith it so that it fires off your, like I had to change the order of those things a few times to kind of actually get the way that the actual mantra works and flowed for me. So, make it sound good to yourself, because if it has a rhythm to it that you can repeat, it's easier for you to repeat it. So do that, come up with the concepts, wordsmith it into something that's easily remembered and fire it off, and then finally, drill. This is just like any other drilling. Drill by practicing. Are there times when you're alone and you can like really work it? Say it out loud, because it's very helpful to say it out loud. It actually makes the body do something, and that'll help build those neural pathways faster. And then find times when you can drill it in your life. I used to, because I would go out a lot and try to meet people, and I would be on the way there, I'd be driving, and I'd be like, I am calm, confident, funny, relaxed, energetic, entertaining, interesting, and able. I am calm, confident, funny, relaxed, energetic, entertaining, interesting, and able. And I would just like fire it off. Keep doing that, and find those times where you can fill it in, because the more you practice it, the more powerful the effect that it has on your life. So I hope that I have encouraged you to build your own personal mantra, because it is seriously one of the most powerful ways that you can transform your beliefs about who you are as a person, and consequently transform your experience of life. So I'd love to hear, if you haven't before, please comment. I'd love to hear a main takeaway that you had from this video, or an idea that you have for implementing it. Also, if you have any questions, please post those in the comments, because I'd love to hear them. That's what kind of guides these videos. It also deepens the conversation for everybody else. So feel free to participate in that way. If you liked it, like it. If you want, subscribe. That'd be great. If you think anybody else might get benefit out of this, please feel free to share that with them. Also, if you have not seen my free guide, The 7 Radical Shifts to Unleashing Your Personal Power, feel free to click on the link in the description, grab a hold of that thing, get it for you. It's a really great, it's just full of tips, tricks, and strategies for making your mind an ally and helping you to get better results out of your life, whether that be more happiness, more success, or just more feeling of control and freedom in your life. Please feel free to grab that. And thank you so much for listening. I hope you have an excellent life.